And it is our pleasure here on the Outsider Sports Show to welcome former Kansas City Chief Travis Daniels to the show. Travis, how's everything going, man? We're about a month from things really starting to heat up. Training camp's about to kick off in 3 weeks. How's everything going with you, my buddy?
Everything is great. Just ready for the new season to kick off and watch some good football.
Absolutely. Definitely looking forward to that. And, of course, we're going back, and we've been talking a lot about your era in Kansas City. Of course, you remember the Kansas City Chiefs from 2009 to 2012, and we've been talking a lot about the Scott Pioli era here in Kansas City, and you were a big part of that. And before we get into specifics, I just kind of want to go back to that. You, of course, played in Cleveland prior to that, and you get to Kansas City in 2009, and just kind of talk about your time here in Kansas City, and obviously won the division in 2010, had a high point there, made the playoffs, but ultimately that era in Kansas City did not shake out favorably. What was your memories of playing in Kansas City through that era?
Well, one of the things that stood out to me the most was the fans. Kansas City had very good fans. It reminded me a lot of being back in Baton Rouge. I feel like at LSU we had the best fans in college football, and while I was out in Kansas City, the Arrowhead fans, man, the Kansas City Chiefs fans, they just supported us tremendously. So it brought that sense of feeling back that I'm used to having, being a part of an organization with a strong fan following. And, it was some very, very good times.
Can you talk about playing with two good friends of yours, Brandon Flowers and Javier Arenas comes in 2010, and just how close that secondary unit seemed to be?
Oh, yeah, man, we like brothers to this day. I still talk with Brandon almost every week, and I talk with Javier a lot. We were a very close unit, which allowed us to have some success in the back end because, we all cared about each other. We wanted everybody to have the most success as possible. So we spent a lot of time on field and off field together. So, just playing with those guys, man, I learned a lot from them, and I was able to share a lot of knowledge with them as well. I think that both of those guys are going to have tremendous years this year with their respective teams, and I'm looking forward to it.
I want to go back. You talk about being good friends with Javier Arenas, and a guy that maybe didn't get his fair shake here in Kansas City. Of course, the regime changed, and he moved on to Arizona. But when he got to Arizona, he talked about how in Kansas City that maybe he didn't feel the accountability to work as hard as possible to win a championship. I mean, can you attest to that? Can you go back to your time and talk about how maybe in Kansas City at that time, under the Scott Pioli regime, that there wasn't this this drive around to do whatever it takes to win a championship, if that's what Javier was referring to?
For me personally, I never had that sense of feeling. Everybody that I came in contact with, Scott, Todd, Romeo, all of these guys are used to winning. So when they came to Kansas City and they brought me on, one of the number one things we talked about was winning championships. And, the practices were intense. Off-season workouts were very intense and accountable in a way that a champion would go out and participate. I can't speak on Javier's situation because everybody had their own feelings and own situations with each person all around. But for me, I think those guys, they try to put us in the best situations to win the championship. They drafted Eric Berry and, they got Tyson Jackson and everybody like that. So, I feel like they was putting the pieces together to win. We was able to win our division, and unfortunately, we weren't able to go too far in the playoffs. But, everybody gave it their best shot.
Can you talk about Brandon Flowers' recent release from the team? The team wanted to save the cap money, $9 million, and he moves on to the San Diego Chargers. How's he feeling about being released and joining his new team in San Diego?
Well, Brandon is a football player, and everybody, we all understand the business, the nature of the business. It's not basketball and baseball where you're locked into a guaranteed contract. So anytime a team sees fit that it's time to move on for whatever reason it is, they make those changes, and that's something that we know when we first signed up for it. So Brandon, he's taking it in stride. He's happy to be over there in San Diego, just to have the opportunity to continue to live out his dream and play in the professional football league. So, he's not moping or anything about it. He definitely, talked to me about he really enjoyed all his time in Kansas City and things like that. And now it's just time to start a new chapter in life.
Going back to your playing time here in Kansas City, of course, there was the controversy between head coach Todd Haley and Scott Pioli. Inevitably, Scott Pioli fired Todd Haley in the middle of the 2011 season. I know you as players don't get involved in that kind of stuff necessarily, but I mean, what was your take on that? You played for Coach Haley. The team, really got it together and played well in 2010. What did you think about Todd Haley's being fired from the team midseason and then going into the Romeo Crennel era and playing for him? Like, kind of what were the differences there?
Well, I mean, like you said, like I said earlier, it's a business, so change is going to happen. Like, regardless, no one is going to be on the team forever for the most part. It's very, very seldom do a player or a coach start with a team and finish with a team. That's like 1% of the actual NFL. So I never really bought into anything with Todd and Scott, them feuding or whatever it is that was going on. Because my job as a player is to come in and play and do what I have to do and lead. I don't really get down into everybody else's business, what they got going on relationship-wise. So, Todd was very, I learned a lot from Todd. I was glad to be a part of his team. Coach Romeo is somebody I looked up to for a long time, knowing the success that he had over in New England on the defensive side of the ball with guys that I'm friends with, like Asante Samuel, guys like that. So when I was able to, work with him again after Cleveland, I was very excited about that. And, everybody, just have the winning mentality. Just sometimes it just don't happen for your club. I mean, it's only one team can win the Super Bowl, so it got to be 31 other losers, So, I mean, it's just a part of it.
Well, Romeo takes over in 2012, like we talked about. What was that like? How was Romeo as a head coach? Did you feel like he knew what was going on and could have been a successful head coach, or what went wrong in that situation?
Well, Romeo definitely is qualified to be a head coach. I mean, the guy who won numerous Super Bowls, he knows how to get guys rallied around him to go out there and give his best effort. But, sometimes it just don't work out like that. I think that he's a tremendous head coach, defense coordinator, motivational speaker to the players. I mean, he can connect well with you on many different levels and things like that. So, but Romeo is definitely a great coach, head coach, any kind of coach that he is title for on any given team.
Going back to your time with Todd Haley, how did people react to his kind of temper and attitude and flair on the sidelines and in practices? And also, did they respect him having not played football? Going back to his college days, didn't play in the NFL. He was more of a golfer. So did players respect him in that sense?
Yeah, everybody that I know about, I respect him. Regardless of what your level of football playing is, like, it's all about knowing the game. Like, I have never been a referee before, but I'm pretty sure if I was to get out there and learn all the things that a referee do, I could probably go out there and be a good referee, or I could be a terrible one. It doesn't matter if you played or if you didn't play. The only thing that matters is do you know the game? How well do you know the game? Do you know how to teach the game? And I feel like you know how to do all of those things. So I never had a problem with the fact that he didn't play professional football and was coaching out to him. I never had a problem with anything like that. And as far as like his temper and things like that, I mean, everybody is different. Me, I came from LSU, so I had Coach Nick Saban. Nick Saban is very tough, very aggressive coaching and things like that. So, Todd was, for me, along the same lines as Nick. And so I didn't have a problem with it because that's what I've been used to for such a very long time.
I want to talk about the quarterback position there. Obviously, not to run down former teammate Matt Castle, but the Chiefs committed to him in 2009 and really did not address the quarterback position again, which was probably the downfall of the Scott Pioli era. Talk about, as a player on the defensive side, when, obviously the quarterback position is struggling and, it really, towards the end, especially in 2012, it just was not working out. I mean, did you guys as teammates feel like that the quarterback position should have been addressed more frequently during that era?
Well, I don't get into the whole trying to play general manager, trying to play who should be on the team or who should not be on the team or who should be playing what position or things like that. Like, as a defensive player, our job is to go out there and stop teams regardless if they get the ball on the 20 coming out or if they're on the 20 coming in. Regardless what the offense is doing, our job
in 2011, Halloween comes around. You guys play the San Diego Chargers. You get Phillip Rivers, strip him at the end. Andy Studebaker comes up with it, and you guys win the game at the end. After the game, you guys are seen wearing the Scream masks. Whose idea was that? How'd that come about?
Oh man, well, I can't remember who idea it was, but everybody's a whole in the secondary. Like to play in the secondary, you have to have a tremendous amount of confidence in yourself, and also you have to have a certain type of swagger to play in that secondary. So being that it was Halloween, we put the challenge on us to go out there and to help win this game. And if we do, we have our Scream masks ready, and we're just celebrating in the whole Halloween spirit. So we're glad that we was able to come away with the win. We're glad that the game was as competitive as it was, and it wasn't a blowout either side. And, it was a very good game down to the end, and to be able to, put on the masks on Halloween Day in Arrowhead, it just was icing on the cake. It was a lot of fun.
Well, Travis, I tell you what, I know now in your post NFL career, you're doing a lot of photography. Tell our listeners where they can where they can find you and what you're up to now as far as your photography goes.
Oh yeah, so photography is definitely a passion of mine. I had it for several years now. If you guys ever want to see any of my work, you can go on my Instagram at Travis Daniels Photography, or you can go on my website at TDanielsPhotos.com. When you first come into the NFL, you go to the symposium, and you always have your player development people speaking to you about life after football, because there is going to be a life after football, regardless how long your football career lasts. There's a lot of life after football is over. I think it's very important that guys not only focus all their attention only solely on football, but on other things that they have interest in. And photography was one for me. I actually own a barbershop in Atlanta, Georgia, in Swanee. That's very close to the Atlanta Falcons practice facility, cut 3 mix off Swanee Road. So, just being a business person. Ever since I came through, when I left high school and went to LSU, Coach Saban ran the team and the organization pretty much to me like a Fortune 500. You have to be at time. You have to be very precise about everything that you're doing, and you always have to be thinking about the next thing. So for me, photography was the next thing after football, and I really enjoy shooting. I have done a Brandon LaFleur wedding. We did it for the Patriots. I took some shots for Brandon Carr at his wedding in Detroit, and I got more weddings coming up. I do family photos. I mean, I'm just having a ball with it right now, and I've been getting a lot of very good positive feedback from it, so I'm going to continue to keep going to see where it can lead me to next. I also even did some work with the NFL Prep 100 series, which was a series for high schoolers, and we went out to 8 different cities, and we put on like a symposium camp type of situation, and I was able to be a part of that and handle all the fraternities of that. Next weekend I'll be in Dallas with the NFL officials, shooting the NFL officials clinic. So, I'm definitely able to do some great things on the photography so far. I just hope that I continue going up.
Absolutely. We'll definitely be watching for your stuff. We'd love to see it, and we'll definitely plan on keeping up. I mean, got to get you back on once the football season starts. We'll talk about some live football action as it gets set to ramp up here in about a month or so. But tell you what, Travis, thanks so much for joining us today. We'll definitely keep in touch, my man, and you have a great rest of the summer, okay?
All right, thank you very much. Go Chiefs.
Yes, definitely. Take care, Travis.